Excellency Minister of Foreign Affairs of Papua New Guinea, the Honorable Mr. Justin Tachenko, Her Excellency Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of Timor-Leste, Ms. Adalgiza Magno, His Excellency Ambassador Kadir Jailani, Director General for Asia-Pacific and African Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia, His Excellency Ambassador of Fiji to Indonesia, Mr. Amena Yovuli, the Honorable Mr. Bambang Suwarso, the Committee Chair of ASEAN and Pacific Indonesia Chamber of Commerce, Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. A very good day and warm welcome to all of you to Pacific Business Engagement at the Indonesia-Pacific Forum for Development. The event is conducted in hybrid way, therefore we also kindly thank participants who joined this event by online via Zoom and YouTube. This event is aimed for business engagement through networking and panel discussion on how to bridge development and trade investment nexus and how to elevate engagement to a higher plane of cooperation. This event is co-hosted by Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and the government of Indonesia. Before coming to the main part, allow me to inform you the program of today's meeting. First, group photo session. Second, welcoming remarks by Director General for Asia-Pacific and African Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia. Third, remarks by Chairman of Indonesian Chamber of Commerce. Fourth, presentation by our distinguished panelists, discussion, networking session, and closing. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, before we start our main event, I wish to invite for a photo group dignitaries from government and business. For this, I would like to kindly invite to the front. First, His Excellency Ambassador Kadir Jailani. Second, His Excellency Minister Justin Tachenko. Her Excellency Minister Adalgiza Magno. The Honorable Bapak Bambang Suwarso, Bapak Director Mirsa Nur Hidayat, Ibu Yanti Tambunan, and Bapak Adra from Kadin as the host. Please just, thank you, the host of the event. So all the photographers ready? And I'm expecting all the dignitaries on the in the front. Please give your best smile. On the count of 3, ready? All right. Okay. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. Please stay, don't move. I would like to invite His Excellency Ambassador Amena Yovuli from Fiji. Please join. And Bapak Made Aryandi from Chamber of Commerce of Bali. Bapak Andriana Supandi, please join. Okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Big smile. Say Bali. 1, 2, 3. Bali. Thank you so much. Please kindly return to your seat. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Can we give round of applause to our event today, Business Engagement of Pacific and Indonesia. And Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we may invite now to the podium His Excellency Ambassador Kadir Jailani, Director General for Asia, Pacific and African Affairs from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Indonesia to deliver his welcoming remarks. The floor is yours, sir.
Your Excellency Adalizal Bentina Xavier Reyes Mahnu, Minister for Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of Timor-Leste, the Honorable Justice Justin Tachenko, Minister for Foreign Affairs of the Independent State of Papua New Guinea, the Honorable Bapa Arshad Rashid, Chairman of the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry or KADIN, the Honorable Bambang Suwarso, Committee Chair Bilateral ASEAN and Pacific of the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and Excellencies and Ambassadors, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is indeed my utmost pleasure to welcome you all to the Pacific Business Engagement, and allow me to express my appreciation to KADIN for jointly organizing this event, pushing forward our business engagement with Pacific countries, especially PNG and Timor-Leste. My appreciation is also extended to Excellencies, ambassadors, and members of diplomatic corps in Jakarta and business communities present today. Ladies and gentlemen, during the opening ceremony this morning, Foreign Minister Retno Marsudi highlighted Indonesia's commitment to foster a new era partnership in the Pacific, a partnership to overcome the multiple challenges faced by Pacific countries and brings direct benefits to their people. Therefore, I would like to use this opportunity to share our experience and views on how we can strengthen ties and collaboration in our region and build synergy in turning around the pandemic crisis into a great momentum for cooperation. Excellencies, to forge stronger ties and cooperation with the Pacific, I wish to propose three main approaches. First, nurturing meaningful cooperation between Asia and Pacific. Indonesia's commitment to strengthening our ties with Pacific is firm and will remain so for many years to come. Indonesia also sees the potential of the ASEAN outlook on Indo-Pacific as the main vehicle in bridging Southeast Asia closer with the Pacific region. The ASEAN outlook on Indo-Pacific advocates for inclusivity at the heart of its cooperation. Not only does mean that the vision is inclusive in terms of ideas, but also envisage the active participation of the small island countries in Pacific. Within that context, thoughts and aspirations of all regions in the world were heard and taken into account, especially our family brothers and sisters here in the Pacific. For that reasons, several areas of cooperation that can be further developed, among others, are maritime cooperation, connectivity, sustainable development goals, and economic cooperation. Second, enhancing business and commercial engagement to kickstart our journey towards post-economic recovery. 3 years ago, the Pacific countries met in Auckland, New Zealand, united by an idea to create a forum for business matching, networking, and reinforcing our communal ties. Conclusion of preferential trade agreement between Indonesia with Pacific countries can be also an option. That is how was created the Pacific Exposition, which showed our resilience and economic interdependence that must be nurtured. Our business forum today is certainly organized with the goal in mind. Final point, ladies and gentlemen, bridging the plight of the Pacific to the intention of the world. As one of the founders of the Archipelagic and Island State, or ICE Forum, in 2017, Indonesia emphasizes the continuation of building collaboration on how to cope with common challenges in the region. Now, we also have Indonesia-Pacific Forum for Development, which brings our development commitments in the Pacific into meaningful action. Rest assured, Indonesia will advance its ASEAN Chairmanships 2023 to help shape the global agenda and advance the interests of the people and small island developing states in the Pacific. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to note that more than 40 representatives from businessmen and government are present here in person today. I have no doubt that this will strengthen cooperation with our existing partner and even establish new collaboration. And more importantly, it will broaden our potential to forge business contacts leading to contracts. I wish all participants, visitors, speakers, and my warmest regard, and may all your endeavors be successful. May God Almighty bless you and our effort and journey. I thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Kadir Jailani, for the inspiring speech. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, next is the remarks from the Chairman of Indonesian Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Arsyad Rajid. This remarks is delivered through video. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give warm welcome to Mr. Arsyad Rajid.
Honorable guests and excellencies. Excellency Mr. Abdul Qadir Jalani, Director General for Asia Pacific and Africa Affairs, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Indonesia. Mr. Justin Tachenko, Foreign Minister of Papua New Guinea. Mrs. Adelzia Magno, Foreign Minister of Timor-Leste. Distinguished participants, heads of delegation, and esteemed guests. Brothers and sisters from the Pacific, on behalf of the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, or KADIN Indonesia, I would like to welcome government officials, businesses, and thought leaders to the Indonesia-Pacific Forum for Development, a business engagement event to foster closer collaboration between Indonesia, Timor-Leste, and Papua New Guinea to strengthen the Pacific region as an economic force to reckon with. Ladies and gentlemen, trade and investment are catalysts for economic growth and development. Timor-Leste, Papua New Guinea, and Indonesia are in a unique position to interact with each other as we are neighbors with the same agenda of advancing the global south and emerging economies. The Pacific region should focus on our complementarity and treat the region as one powerful Pacific regional powerhouse. And what commodities should we seize? The single thing that could revolutionize the transportation and power generation sectors, none other than the highly coveted batteries. The Pacific is blessed with hugely untapped mineral resources needed to manufacture these batteries. Indonesia with nickel, Papua New Guinea with gold, and Timor-Leste with copper. The diversity of rare earth minerals is a gift from the Creator, but transforming it into something of value requires good work from all of us. Rare minerals, just as its name implies, are limited. So it is our responsibility to max out their economic value through processing and building our downstream industries at the same time. It's been far too long since we have worked unilaterally exporting raw materials to the West. It is time for us to join forces and build our own downstream industries, adding values to the gift from God by mobilizing investment and stimulating employment, skill, and prosperity in general. Ladies and gentlemen, to fuel this industrialization, we also need power and energy to move the gears of productivity. However, our beloved region is currently addicted to fossil energy. This addiction to dirty energies are detrimental, not only posing risks to the environment, but also exposing us to energy security threats, as we currently witness in Europe and their reliance on Russian gas. But we are all aware of the renewable potentials that our region possesses: solar, tidal, hydro, wind, and geothermal. We are a region blessed with abundant clean energy resources. What we need are investment and technology to harness these sustainable powers, ensuring our region's resiliency. Individually, we are one drop, but together, we are an ocean. We need to be united, formulating attractive schemes on mutually agreeable terms to advance our goal of advancing the Pacific agenda. In closing, I would like to reaffirm Kadin's Indonesia's commitment to facilitating economic cooperation between business actors, ensuring mutually beneficial collaboration for all parties involved. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Mr. Arshad Rajid, Chairman of Indonesian Chamber of Commerce. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, today in this Pacific Business Engagement, our panel discussion will be led by our distinguished moderator. He is Bapak Bambang Suwarso, the Committee Chair of ASEAN and Pacific Chamber of Commerce of Indonesia. We now may invite Bapak Bambang Suwarso to the stage to lead this panel discussion on how to bridge development and trade investment nexus and how to elevate engagement to a higher plane of cooperation. Please welcome Bapak Bambang Suwarso.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished speaker and guests. My name is Bambang Suwarso, Chairperson of Indonesia Chamber of Commerce, Asia-Pacific Bilateral Committee. I'm so honored and happy to be here and become your moderator here for the Pacific Business Engagement, part of the Indonesia-Pacific Forum for Development, the first Indonesia-Pacific Forum for Development. This PBA, the Pacific Business Engagement, is collaboration event between Chamber of Commerce of Indonesia and also with the government of Indonesia. Before I started, let me greet some excellency here. I have to see my... Okay, the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs of Papua New Guinea, Justin Tachenko, the Excellency Minister of Foreign Affairs and Cooperation of Timor-Leste, Ms. Adelisa Xavier Magno, Excellency Ambassador Abdul Qadir Jailani. I saw some familiar faces here. Ambassador Amena, actually is my working buddy during the CFD, Car Free Day in Jakarta, Senayan. And do I see here the legislative from Jakarta? Oh, they don't come. Okay. Let us invite Minister Justin and also Minister Adelisa to the front and we start the panel. Yes, PBE or Pacific Business Engagement. This is the first time we have this event, the collaborative event between Indonesian government and Kadin, Indonesian Chamber of Commerce. This PBE really important for us. Why? Because we aware that business people or businessmen, they have a key role to advancing the nation, advancing the economic certain country. Today, we have two ministers, one from the Timor-Leste and the other one from PNG, our neighbor, our Indonesian neighbor. Yeah, and as we aware the importance of business, then we have this forum. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, as before we heard earlier keynote from Ambassador Abdul Qadir Jailani and also the Chairman of Kadin, Mr. Arshad. We know and heard that some opportunity really available in both countries, between Indonesia and PNG, and also between Indonesia and Timor-Leste. And then we need to heard, even during this morning session, we already heard on the high-level delegation discussion, right? It's very serious talk. And today, the panel session, I want all of us here can clap our hand, not just become so serious. Can we clap our hand? Because I talked to Minister Justin, how come the morning session is very serious? Nobody clapped their hand. And somebody asked me, what's really going on at the time in this morning session? Mr. Justin, now your turn. We want to hear your view about how your country, your policy country, can elevate the cooperation between two countries, Indonesia and PNG. Please, Minister, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Firstly, it's a pleasure to be here in Bali, addressing you all this afternoon. Let me first put it this way. Papua New Guinea is open for business. We are the biggest island state in the Pacific, biggest population, biggest rainforest, third biggest rainforest in the world, and have resources just like Indonesia. We have one of the biggest food bowls in agriculture and horticulture, and of course mining and petroleum. With that, Indonesia is our traditional neighbor, sharing the biggest border between Papua New Guinea and Indonesia. And that offers a lot of opportunities. PNG and our government under the James Rosso government, Marape government, is working on a new trade and investment ministry headed by Honorable Richard Maru, one of our senior ministers. We're moving forward to opening up special free trade zones throughout different provinces of Papua New Guinea, whether it's agriculture, manufacturing, and fisheries, as well as mining and petroleum. On our border itself, we have we just opened the border between Indonesia and Papua New Guinea just recently, 2 months ago, and some of the officials were here. Ambassador was there, to open up trade again, to get more opportunities again, from SSME to agriculture, to traditional border crossings and trade. But we're also working together with the Indonesian government for the provincial treaty in trade as well. Very important. That will open up a lot of opportunities with tax concessions and other avenues in customs, quarantine, and many other areas that will assist businessmen and women in looking for investment in PNG. One thing that's very important as well is the safety component, law and order. You want to come to a country that is safe and sound, that when you put your investment, it will make its way in without fear and without favor. Our government policies are fair. We encourage business, but we very much encourage downstream processing. Gone will be the days of sending out our raw product out of Papua New Guinea, just like Indonesia. They've had that experience before, where we manufacture our own products in our own country, creating more employment opportunities, creating more revenue, and creating more investment as well for businesses that would like to do that. Indonesia has already set the example, and we look forward in taking example from them. And if something's working well, why are you going to change it? So the doors are open. We have, especially in mining and petroleum and the spin-off benefits from that, going forward in agriculture in a huge way. Agriculture plays an important role in the lives of Papua New Guineans. Papua New Guineans are the oldest gardeners in the world. So when it comes to that side of things, it's a perfect opportunity to set up new industries in our free trade zones where it can come to expand many different business opportunities. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Justin. Please give a round of applause to Mr. Justin. I remember that we, Indonesia Chamber of Commerce, also have an MOU with your CCI. We have since June 2013 and extended on, if I'm not wrong, on March 2022, right? During your Prime Minister visit to Jakarta. In March, right? Okay. And then also we heard that we opened the border on October 24.
This year?
This year, right? This is indicate that both countries really want to open the connection, open the communication to elevate the country.
We feel we have a lot to learn and gain, especially from Indonesia. Our relationship has not been as strong as it is now going forward. The Papua New Guinea government is going to take big emphasis on building up its relationship in many different sectors, from diplomacy through to trade, economic enhancement, SME and human resource, education and health. These are areas where we can both learn from each other, but especially from PNG. Our government is looking for investors. We just recently in Sydney had the mining conference, the big mining conference with all the mining and petroleum players throughout the world. And it was one of the biggest we've ever had. So looking forward with our new direction of downstream processing, our new trade agreements that we are putting forward, our new free trade zones that we want to build, and what Timor-Leste is just recently doing with Indonesia on their free trade zone and all the rest of it. Papua New Guinea's door is open for that, especially on the Vonimo West Sepik province border with Jayapura and Indonesia. That is something that would be very exciting, something that would be easy to do and be beneficial for all businessmen and women on both sides of the countries.
Thank you very much for your insight. Again, round of applause for Mr. Justin. Now we come to the second panel from Timor-Leste, Minister of Adalisa. You may also can give your view how your country, your policy, elevate the communication, the development between two countries, Timor-Leste and Indonesia. And remember that we are in the same island with the East Nusa Tenggara. Minister, floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Bamban. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for the opportunity. Special thanks to the Blue who organized this very special event. This kind of event that are really important for Timor-Leste to promote more the investment opportunity in Timor-Leste. So first I want to say that Indonesia has to do more in Timor-Leste. You have to beat Singapore. Singapore is the largest investment so far in Timor-Leste because we have a special relation. It's, we like consider brothers and sisters, and we share the history in the past. So I think Indonesia has to do more. Right now, we try hard to promote the investment opportunity in Timor-Leste. We also have like a blueprint of economic diversification. There are a few sectors that we focus to encourage more investors, such as in the mining, in petroleum, like in Papua New Guinea, fishing, agriculture, and tourism. So I hope that investors in Indonesia, there are many, many businessmen, businesswomen, investors in Timor-Leste right now from Indonesia. But I encourage more because we have a lot of opportunities. A recent visit of my President of the Republic, President José Ramos Horta, last June. Okay. We agreed that we will establish the free trade zone, industrial park in Nusa Tenggara Timur, between the border between Indonesia and Timor-Leste. So this is a good start already. Actually, there are few investors, important investors of Indonesia in Timor-Leste. But like I said before, so many investors, potential investors in Indonesia from Kadin and others. I think I encourage you to go because there are a lot of opportunities. And also, the second one, because we will become a member of ASEAN soon. Now, we, in principle, will become a member of ASEAN. But if we're working together with Indonesia, especially during the Indonesia chairmanship, we can accelerate all the process, filling all the gap. And then I hope that our ambition is to become a member next year, member of the ASEAN next year. If not possible, and then it's soon, it's better. So it's also to accelerate the economic growth in Timor-Leste. By integrating ourselves to become a member of ASEAN, there are more opportunities for investment, like in tourism, in hospitalities, manufacturing, everything. And we can rely on Indonesian investors as well.
Thank you for your insight. Please give applause to Minister Adelika. I remember that you mentioned about tourism, and you also mentioned about East Nusa Tenggara. We know that we also have MOU between Indonesia Chamber of Commerce and also the Timor-Leste CCI, right? And also our Chamber of Commerce in East Nusa Tenggara, they have good relation with your country. Is it correct, right?
Yes, it's correct. Recently, my president awarded the governor of Nusa Tenggara Timur, what's the name of the award? Medal of Honor.
Oh, okay.
Because we have a very special ties with our friends, family in Nusa Tenggara Timur. So it's also because Governor of Nusa Tenggara Timur, he's trying so hard. He's doing the campaign in Indonesia, encourage many people to go and invest in Timor-Leste.
It's good. You say governor of East Nusa Tenggara.
Nusa Tenggara Timur.
Yeah, Nusa Tenggara Timur means East Nusa Tenggara.
Yes, it's Nusa Tenggara.
Same word, same word.
That's right,
Yeah.
that's right.
In Labuan Bajo, in Nusa Tenggara, East Nusa Tenggara, we have Tanah Mori. Have you heard about this expensive or luxury tourism area?
I only hear Labuan Bajo. I never hear
Tanah Mori.
Tanamor. I never heard about.
Yeah, during G20, B20, where the private sector and government work together, we promote a lot for Tanah Mori, the luxury tourism in Labuan Bajo. And this maybe can be the model for Timor-Leste. Minister, thank you for your insight.
Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I will try to learn more about Tanah Mori.
Yes, I can share with you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we are arriving for the 15-minute Q&A session. I will ask first to the panelists. Simple question, actually. Yeah, for both panelists. First, my question is, what is the low-hanging fruit for the business people if they want to go to your country, to PNG or either to Timor-Leste first? And the second, the low-hanging fruit means something that you provide for them. And then second, what the challenges that the business people have to aware when they enter your country? Maybe start from ladies. Sorry. Please.
Oh, okay. I have these ties.
Okay.
Normally, when you come, the first thing they will greeting you to put in your shoulder.
I already have it.
Yeah, I think it's similar to the traditional layer.
Layer, yeah.
Yeah.
I already have it from your embassy in Jakarta.
I can give you one more.
Okay, thank you. Okay, back to my question. What the low-hanging fruit the government, yeah, I mean, the like incentive or facility, something that you provide so more business people come to your country. That's the first one. And the second one, what the challenges that the business people, the businessmen should be aware if they want to enter your country? Please, Minister.
Well, we have a one-stop shop that will facilitate all the business people to go to not to have a lot of bureaucracy to register or to want to invest in Timor-Leste. So we also try to reform in our agraria in the for business to have a easy access for land. Yeah.
What else then?
Well, I don't remember many, but were many incentives.
Okay, jump to the challenges.
Challenges, back to the land, I guess, because we haven't finished the land reform. It's a bit, quite a problem for investors. I have to be honest on this.
Thank you, Minister. Yeah. Okay, jump to you, Minister Justin.
We have a similar situation where we have the IPA, Investment Promotion Authority, which assists all investors to come to Papua New Guinea and gives them the guidelines of how to register their companies, how to move forward and set up their business in PNG. It's once again, it's online. It's a modern facility that businessmen and women can come and companies can come to first register their company, register their interest, and find out all the information about tax concessions, about all the issues that they might face when investing and setting up a company in Papua New Guinea. And you can go online from Indonesia and do that. We expect it would be good to partner with a national-based company or another company in Papua New Guinea that can also help facilitate on a national basis as well to help move things forward in different sectors, whatever that someone might be interested to invest in. But we have an open door policy. We are making it easier for those to come, invest. Our banking systems international as well, to allow for people to invest and easily bring their money and their finances in and out. We reformed the taxation system to encourage investors to come in. On the land issue, land is available. We have a lot of customary land, traditional land, but we have a lot of state land as well. And it's just following the right procedures through our government system to get that across the line when it comes to investors.
Sorry to interrupt you, Minister, but you say about the tax right. Do you have kind of a tax incentive when the business people come to your country?
There are tax incentives depending on which industry you're going to go and invest in. And with that, we can move things forward on negotiation. We have set up the new Trade and Investment, International Investment Ministry. That ministry is there to purposely assist investors coming into Papua New Guinea. And that will be online as well for those that are interested in the different sectors. So at least they can find out first what the issues are and then see whether they still want to continue down the line to invest in our country. There's a lot of opportunities coming up, especially in mining and petroleum and agriculture. In the second quarter of next year, the new Papua LNG will start construction through Total and ExxonMobil. From there, we also move on to Piniang in the next 8 years. And then, of course, in one of our other provinces, in the Sepik region and also in Morobe, is Wapi Gold Pool, which is a gold and copper mining area. And then we've got right on the border with West Papua and Indonesia, with Papua New Guinea is Ok Tedi, as well as then Porgera going further down. So these mines are all now coming fully operational. Porgera has just started, employed over 2,500 people this year, and starting full operations next year. So in the mining sector and the spin-offs with mining and petroleum, we have a lot to offer in that sector. Agriculture is just starting up. You know, we've got all the plains, we've got all the magnificent grasslands and swamps. I don't know why we're not growing rice when most of our people's staple diet is rice. And we rely on imports from Australia and Thailand and other countries to feed us our staple diet. You know, we should be growing our own.
Okay, and then how about the challenges?
The challenge
We have to know as a business people.
Yeah. Okay, I would say the biggest challenges that you will have is we still have issues with law and order.
Oh, almost same with Timor-Leste.
Yeah.
Well, we don't have a problem with law and order, but the problem is to get an issue of land is quite a problem.
Okay, continue then.
Law and order is it's okay, but it's a challenge to ensure that someone feels safe in a country.
Okay.
And it's our endeavour, working with the Australian government, working with our agencies to resolve some of these issues throughout our country. We're like any developing country. You know, some areas you go to, some areas you don't. Every country has its issues in that regard. Land issues, yes, they can be a challenge. Public service, that can be a challenge. Being complacent in getting things done quicker and more efficiently with the public service. That could improve. That could definitely improve. But overall, our country is a very open and friendly country. We welcome all our guests. Those who want to invest will be welcomed with open arms. Our government is there to promote investment, to promote trade, and to welcome those coming in. And whatever we can do through our government's IPA, Ministry of Trade, and Chamber of Commerce of Papua New Guinea, and all the other options that are open to those who'd like to invest, they're there to get you off the ground and started and make it as best you possibly can for setting up your business in PNG.
Thank you, Mr. Justin. Let's give applause to Mr. Justin. We still have some time, and also this event, we also have online for some participants. Maybe some from the online have question, please raise your hand and the EO or the committee will arrange for that. Do we have from? Okay. We have question here. How the commitment of the government of both countries to protect the investor in investing the capital? Maybe Minister from Timor-Leste.
Yeah, I can guarantee that we have a commitment. We try our best to encourage more people to come. Like what the Papua New Guinea doing. It's also we have an incentive for investors. Like for instance, first investment in 5 years, they are free from tax. But if I'm not mistaken, but we have this kind of incentive that provide for the investors. And I want to just add that Timor-Leste is very safe. We don't have an organized crime. The country that you can travel all the country from east to west, south to then we don't have anything to worry about, except some procedures that sometimes we hear a lot of complaining from investors. But so far, the many investors, for instance, from Singapore or China or Australia, they don't complaining much about the security or others. No, it's nothing to complain, except sometimes it take some time to finish some of bureaucracy things, but we try hard to eliminate all those barriers.
Thank you, Minister.
To protect the investor, we have a very good international banking system. That banking system is protected and governed by all the world standards so that it protects the investor and the funds that they put in. We have a very sound and secure and honest judicial system, independent, and will allow for any issues that come up to be judged appropriately by the laws of Papua New Guinea and also international law. So to invest in Papua New Guinea when it comes through your investment, when it comes to our banking systems, we have all the world banks in PNG. So to secure your funds, to make sure that all the laws and everything are properly done, plus judicial, to ensure that you feel safe knowing that you can move forward if anything does happen in the future for your fundings as well.
Thank you, Mr. Justin. Do we have any question from the participant here? Please raise your hand. Or the ladies, yellow, please. Just one question and only should be less than 5 minutes. 1 minute.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Justin. Thank you, Ms.
Can you speak louder, please?
Bahasa? No. Louder. Okay. So the main question is I'm Russian originally, and we have lots of investments coming from Russia to Indonesia mainly. I live here in Bali. In terms of your countries, like, do you know the numbers about the investments of the returns of investments, particularly in villas, in hotels? Because in Bali it is around like 5 or maybe 10 years, and you easily get your money back. In terms of investing, like in Papua New Guinea or like your countries, like, do you know these numbers? Yeah, thank you.
Well, it really depends what industry or area you want to invest in. When it comes to if you receive back your investment over a 5-year, 10-year, 20-year period, it's all depending on that. Papua New Guinea has a population, they're saying now through UN and all the rest, of nearly 17 million people. So we have the capacity to support businesses in many different ways, but it depends on which business you want to get involved in, that you'd understand the return of that investment going forward. Some businesses will take a lot longer to get the investment back. So which business would you be looking at?
Yeah, I'm asking particularly about the properties, about hotels and villas, because I have lots of friends from Russia and Dubai. They are looking into investments into Indonesia and particularly in Bali, because it's really already an attracting point. And I've been to different parts of Indonesia as well. I've been to Jakarta, even to Maratai. And it's always like, either you have the return on investment, but the price of the land, it doesn't like grow rapidly, or either you invest and you wait 5 years and you have the lands going up because it's the fastly growing region.
Yes, I'm also the former lands minister, so for Papua New Guinea for 3 years. So investing in real estate and rental properties in Papua New Guinea is a big return. You can get your money back quite quickly over the next 5 to 7 years.
Wow.
Remember, the kina is also the bonus. The kina to the US dollar is around about 26 cents for, we get one kina buys 26 cents US. So the bargaining tool for foreign currency and for buying property is a good one. There's a lot of investment as we speak in Papua New Guinea in apartments and condominiums and penthouses that are going up as we speak, and they can range between 1 to 4 million kina. So you do your maths and work that out, and then if you rent them, you can rent them for at least like a 300 or 400 square meter apartment. You can get to 25 to 40,000 kina a month rental.
Thank you,
So
Mr.
it
Justin.
depends on your investment, but property is a good investment in Papua New Guinea, especially in real estate.
Thank you, thank you. We have another question from the Zoom, from the online. Please.
Yes, thank you very much, Pak.
Sorry, we cannot hear your voices.
Yes.
Yes,
Am I
please.
already? Thank you very much. Pak Babang Melayu, Indonesian Embassy in Sulawesi. We are very supportive of the initiative in holding this engagement. Here, investment fee. So, fee is in Indonesia is sort of investment holding board. Yeah. So, we very kind with Fiji business persons to the embassy or Indonesian ambassador's resident. Think through life.
So sorry, but we cannot hear clearly your voices. Can you just type on the screen so I can read it for the panelists?
May we have comments from the business people here in Fiji? Example two, business person in this room of biosecurity Fiji. Mr. Michael.
Ambassador Amena, the participant on the online mentioned about the Fiji. Do you want to respond this?
What did he say?
To be able to hear me. My name's Mick. I'm with Security in Fiji. Not only for it's part of the charter, the organisation that I represent is to open pathways in countries.
So sorry, but in this room we cannot hear clear. Okay, can we move on for another question from the room? Please raise your hand, mention your name, if any. Okay, this gentleman over there. I think he's candidate of our president with the white hair. Candidate president for next year.
Oh, true. Thank you. Your Excellency, Mr. Tachenko. My name is Budi Negoro. My company now is assisting business people from Papua New Guinea in capacity building and also purchasing some materials, some machineries from Indonesia to support the production in your country. Our problem is about remittance, the payment, because there is some limitancy in your country. So we need your solution so that if we really need to increase the business engagement, because business is about moving products and capital. So we need some solution. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Yes, that is a very important question. Having foreign currency to allow for businessmen and women to trade, not only in Papua New Guinea, but to take their profits and buying power out of PNG. It is an ongoing concern to PNG. Our government is already doing reforms with the Bank of Papua New Guinea that control the monetary process within our country. I believe at the moment, which is I would feel is totally unacceptable, because they're an independent body. Only $60 million is released every week to allow for foreign currency to go out and to pay for bills for products and other things overseas, like what you're trying to achieve. That is not enough, and it's not only a concern for investors, it's also a concern for people that have established businesses in Papua New Guinea. I'll give you an example. Puma Energy provide all the airline fuel for our Air New Guinea. Because they make only kina in our country, they have no foreign currency. And because the foreign currency being released is small, they find it now hard to provide airline fuel for our planes to fly. So it is a very important issue that is being addressed as we speak by the Papua New Guinea government to increase the capacity of foreign currency being released by the Bank of Papua New Guinea, and I can tell you now it's definitely being addressed.
Thank you, Mr. Justin. Now we are arriving on the end of panel discussion, but maybe Minister Adalisa want to share some view before we close the session.
Yeah, I just want to once again encourage the more investors from Indonesia to go and see the opportunities that we have. We will become a member of ASEAN soon. There are a lot of prospects, the opportunities, especially for hospitality business. Encourage if there are some investors want to build a hotel, because for ASEAN meeting we'll need a lot of hotels, right?
Okay.
And then just want to add more that in terms of security, the banking systems, we all good. We have 3 banks from Indonesia, like 2, Mandiri and BRI. So it's for Indonesians, investors will be, it's
more secure
and comfortable.
Okay.
Because we have, and also we have in Australian Bank, and Timor-Leste's bank as well. So probably in the near future we can discuss to have a business forum, Indonesia and Timor-Leste, to discuss more the opportunities, and in government levels also we can discuss more the agreement to facilitate the business opportunities both in Timor-Leste and Indonesia.
Thank you, Minister. One closing statement, Mr. Justin.
Don't be shy to come to Papua New Guinea. What you see in Indonesia is replicated in Papua New Guinea. We speak a different language, we have different values, but at the end of the day, business is business. And we can all work together.
One sentence. Just one sentence.
Oh, one sentence. I'll keep on going. I'll promote our country until I fall asleep. But the most important thing, Indonesia and Papua New Guinea can do business. Our governments are going to work very closely together over the next 5 years to encourage that business, to encourage diplomacy, to encourage our people to be working together for the benefit of both countries.
Thank you. Yeah, we heard from 2 panelists that both countries, like Indonesia as a big country, 7,000 islands, more than half of Pacific region, have commitment to develop the cooperation among the country in Pacific, and both ministers also expressed their motivation, their policy, the government policy to support the business in Pacific region. From Pacific, for Pacific, by Pacific, for Pacific. Thank you for Mr. Justin and also Minister Adalisa for being here and give your view. And again, round of applause for them. Okay, give a hand over to the MC. Thank you.
Thank you. Big applause for our distinguished panelists and moderator for the inspiring discussion. Thank you very much. I believe that we all agree that we have to continue bridging development and trade investment nexus and continue elevating engagement to a higher level of cooperation. With that, I would like to kindly invite the panelists and moderator to please return to your seat. Thank you. And this is not the end of the session. We have networking sessions. So I would like to kindly invite you enjoy the refreshment outside, but please bring inside to have networking session with your colleagues or maybe with the panelists. Thank you. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, one more time we would like to inform you that the refreshment, some food and drinks are prepared outside of the room in the front foyer of this room. We would like to kindly invite you bring the refreshment inside and continue your networking session with participants, panelists, and moderator. Thank you.
Re-